Okay, so what if I told you that a really smart investor just dropped a massive $35 million commitment on a company you probably just know for its fancy kitchen towels? Yep, we're talking about Williams-Sonoma. And we're going to figure out why. Yep, $35 million. That's the potential size of this deal. Now, this isn't just someone casually buying a few shares, right? This is a huge, calculated move. And when you see a move this big, it usually means there's something really interesting hiding just beneath the surface.
So that's really the big question we're tackling here. Is this investor just making a crazy bet on a home goods store, especially in this economy? Or is this a total stroke of genius based on something that most of us are missing? The only way to find out is to follow the money.
Okay, first things first. To really get this, we've got to understand the specific financial tool they used. Now, it sounds complicated. It's called a put option. But honestly, it's a super clever way to buy a company you already love, but for a cheaper price.
So here's how it works, and it's actually pretty simple. The investor is basically raising their hand and saying, hey, Williams-Sonoma, I am totally willing to buy your stock at this set price if it happens to drop. And just for making that promise, they get paid cash right up front. It's called a premium. Think of it like this. It's like getting paid to put in a lowball offer on a house you love to own anyway. It's awesome.
Let's run the actual numbers here. It's really straightforward. The official contract price, they call it the strike price, was $175 a share. But remember that cash they got paid up front? That was $4 for every share. So you just subtract that $4 from the strike price, and boom. Their real entry price is actually $171. And this is so, so important. They're not betting on the stock at $175. They're committing to buy it at their own lower price of $171. See how that works? Either they get to buy a company they already like at a discount, or the stock never drops and they just get to keep the $4 a share for free. It's a classic win-win. But that still begs the question, why do they want to own this company so badly in the first place? Well, to answer that, we have to pop the hood on Williams-Sonoma itself. Because as it turns out, this is not your average everyday retailer. The source material we're looking at actually calls it a fortress.
So you can't just think of it as one store. Williams-Sonoma is this whole powerhouse of different brands. You know them. You got Pottery Barn for that classic look, West Elm for more modern stuff, and even Rejuvenation for cool lighting and hardware. Each one is aimed at a different person, a different style, a different point in your life.
And this right here, this is their secret weapon. Get this, a whopping 90% of the stuff they sell is designed by them in-house. What does that mean? It means you can't just hop on Amazon and try to find that same Pottery Barn sofa for cheaper. It doesn't exist anywhere else. This gives them total control over pricing. It's their protective moat. The source calls it a cradle-to-grave ecosystem for your home, which is honestly a perfect way to put it. Think about it. They can get you as a customer for life. You start with Pottery Barn Kids when you're setting up a nursery, then you move into your first apartment and get stuff from West Elm, and later on you're outfitting your dream kitchen with gear from the main Williams-Sonoma store. They've got you covered for the whole journey. Now, if you think this is the same old company from 5 years ago, you have to look at these numbers. Before 2020, their operating margins, how much profit they make, were around 8 to 10%. That's pretty normal for a retailer. But look now, they've rocketed up to over 17%, and they're expected to climb even higher. This is not some temporary pandemic-related fluke. Yeah, this is what the source calls that merging fortress. They have fundamentally changed how their business works. They got way more efficient with their supply chain, and they doubled down on those unique, high-profit, in-house designs we just talked about. They've shown that they can keep these high-profit levels even when facing things like new tariffs. Okay, so we've established it's a fantastic business. But believe it or not, the story actually gets even better. When you see what they do with all the cash this business spits out, well, that's when it goes from a good company to an absolute dream for a value investor. Just check this out. In only the last 5 years, Williams-Sonoma has given back more than $4.1 billion, with a B, dollars to its shareholders. That's through a mix of paying dividends and buying back its own stock. I mean, that is an unbelievable commitment to rewarding the people who own the company. And they're not done yet. They just greenlit a new $1 billion program to buy back even more stock. You should think of this as a giant safety net underneath the stock's price. When the company itself is a huge, consistent buyer of its own shares, it creates demand and helps support the price for all the other investors. So you might be asking, how on earth can they afford to do all this? Simple. Their finances are spotless. They have literally zero long-term debt. Plus, they're sitting on almost $1 billion in cash. That gives them incredible firepower and flexibility to make smart moves when opportunities pop up. All right, so let's put all the pieces together. We've got the clever financial strategy, we've got the fortress business model, and we've got management that loves rewarding shareholders. It's time to put it all together and finally answer that $35 million question.
Now, if you just glance at the surface, you might think, hey, this stock looks kind of expensive. I mean, its main valuation metric, the PE ratio, is way higher than its 10-year average. But looking at it that way is a classic mistake, because this investor isn't buying the old Williams-Sonoma. They're buying the new and improved, hyper-profitable Williams-Sonoma. The quality of the business is just in a completely different league now.
And the numbers back this up big time. Just look at something called return on equity. It basically measures how good they are at making money with the cash investors give them. Theirs is almost 57%. That's more than 5 times the average for their competitors. Their profit margins are triple their peers. I mean, this is an elite-level company firing on all cylinders. There is a quote in the source material that just nails it. This $35 million play, it isn't some wild gamble. It's the textbook definition of smart, disciplined value investing. You find a fantastic business, and you figure out a great price you'd be willing to pay for it, and you make a commitment at that price.
So let's call it. The verdict is in. Was this a risky bet? Absolutely not. It was a brilliant move, a stroke of genius, really. This investor used a smart strategy to literally get paid while waiting to potentially buy a wonderful, high-quality business at a price they chose.
And that really leaves us with one last question to think about, right? This whole incredible story was hiding in plain sight, inside a store most of us just walk past at the mall. It really makes you wonder, what other boring companies out there are actually these incredible high-performance machines, just waiting for someone to look a little closer?